Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this lesson, we'll look at the sound zh, how it's spelled, how it's pronounced, accent error patterns you may have on the sound, and how to practice to improve and say this sound correctly in words. So I would say the most difficult thing about the zh sound is recognizing where it happens. We don't have a specific letter that we use for this sound, and so that adds to some confusion. And then for some people, the sound is difficult to have the voice on or to make the sound continue. So let's look at the properties of this sound. I like to think of this sound as what I would call a voiced SH sound. That's because when I make the sound that SH makes, the sh sound, my mouth is in the same position for the sh sound as it is for the zh sound. The only difference between sh like shout and zh like measure is whether or not my voice is on. So for the sh and zh sounds, the tongue is pulled back a little bit. It's not right behind the teeth, and the lips are a little bit rounded, zh or sh. You can do it without lip rounding, measure, zh, but it can help a little bit to feel like there's an opening for that air to come out. The difference is, for example, the difference between the s and the sh sounds, the s and sh sounds, is that s has a narrow little opening and my tongue is more forward, and sh has a bigger opening for the air and my tongue is further back. Same thing happens for the z versus zh sounds. These are just the voiced versions of the other sounds. So sometimes when I'm explaining this in a word of the day video, I'll write the zh sound like zh. That's to kind of help your brain think of that sh sound, but with a zh voicing instead. Where do we have this sound? The most typical spelling for the zh sound is letter S, which doesn't help us very much because S can also say s and sh and z. So all of these sounds can get a little bit mixed up. I think of the zh in measure as kind of my anchor word for this sound, that when I have measure, I have that zh sound. There's the symbol. And it's a typical pattern when we have the S-U-R-E in the middle or the end of the word, like measure, treasure, closure. It's going to have this zh sound. Unlike S-U-R-E by itself, the sure word, that's an SH sound. You can choose any word to help you remember the zh sound. It's best, I would say, to choose something that you can say easily, that you know you're doing the zh sound in, and use that as a reminder to compare where this sound might be hiding, so to speak. Other common words that have the zh sound and the S spelling, words with S-U-A-L, like usual, visual, etc. That zh sound, visual, is going to just go in between. And then in words with S-I-O-N, like decision, vision, again, letter S here, but the zh sound. One thing that can help if you have trouble making that sound, you can try making these words with an SH, like vision, and then turn the voice on, keep it on, vision, vision. An unusual spelling, equation, usually T-I-O-N has the shun sound, voiceless. In equation, it's a zh sound rather than a sh sound. And then letter Z, also kind of unusual spelling, seizure. Usually Z says z, but in this word it says zh, seizure. We can also spell the zh sound with a G or a GE, like garage or massage. Some people will pronounce that with a j sound instead, garage. So that is also an acceptable and correct pronunciation, but in a lot of people's speech, garage comes from the French, the zh sound in French. We can also use the zh at the beginning, also less common, but the word genre, again from the French, has this zh sound at the start, genre. So as you can see, lots of different ways and places and patterns for the zh sound. Consistent, but a little bit confusing because when you're looking at that letter S, you can't always know. So knowing the symbol, being able to look in the dictionary for that zh sound can be helpful. Also working on the placement for the sh sound so you can feel it, the voicing, etc. The common errors for this sound are that people will do a j sound instead. Maybe you don't have a j in your inventory from your native language. Knowing that the j sound can be held, it's a continuing sound. Working on practicing saying garage instead of garage, for example, can be helpful for you. And then other errors are that people will devoice it and make the sh sound instead of the zh sound. The voice might come out. Sometimes making an S or a Z sound instead is another error that I hear on this. Good. So that's the zh sound for you. A lot of examples to practice. Go through the common words that have the zh, build up practicing on words and then phrases, work your way through the continuum of practice in order to be able to do the zh sound easily and smoothly. Great. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone.